This interview is unlike any I've done before. My guest, Johnny, is a spiritual healer who works on deep soul wounds, helping people find new life, even in the face of late stage cancer. It's important to note that Johnny is partially deaf, which may affect his pronunciation at times. To ensure clarity, I've included subtitles to help you follow along, and it might be difficult to hear if you're driving or doing activities whilst listening. I first learned about Johnny through a patient of mine who struggled to heal despite exhausting every option. She eventually connected with Johnny, who identified a significant spiritual disturbance in her home. His investigation revealed that the property had once been a site of great tragedy, the slaughter of an Aboriginal family whose lingering spirits were disrupting the land and its inhabitants. Remarkably, historical records later confirmed the presence of deceased Aboriginal people in the area, an issue that had even hindered local development. After Johnny performed a spiritual clearing, my patient and her family experienced profound improvements in their well-being. In this episode, we also discuss the work Johnny did for my father, who has been bedridden for years, and the impact that this has had. Additionally, Johnny shares a shocking discovery related to a missing child, exposing unsettling truths about organised pedophile rings in Australia, an issue that many suspect but few have dared to confront. To fully grasp Johnny's insights and experiences, an open mind is essential. I invite you to listen with curiosity and discernment as we explore the profound and often unseen forces that influence our lives.
So, honey,
I'm good. How are you, Johnny?
yeah, good.
Well, firstly, I think it'd be good if you could share your story, how you went from being Johnny, the average Joe, to now healing people.
I didn't know I was a hero. Back in the days, I was still living in the timber industry and living state price in New South Wales. And I started seeing those spaces, windows everywhere, spiritual places. Even drove me log truck up the highway one day. There was a farm economy flying me down and straight faces in the back window. And that was like children's faces. So one was laughing, one was falling, be both at me and I'm trying to be scary. That one there, I said, there's three kids in the back of this car. So by the time I got to an old tuck rain up around past his car, I looked at the back seat, my lads up beside, and there's no one on the back seat. There's an old man and his old lady. It sits beside driving. I'm not a rarity in the world. I went, damn, no good man, yeah. Yeah, just the spirits just trickery in that. But sit down and watch TV night time, mate. We'll look out and flares across the window. Otherwise, I just all different places. Some were scary, some were just happy, laughing, whatever, And that went on for 18 months. And then one night, I pulled my log truck up to have a power nap at Foss Harbour. And when I pulled up, there was spirits outside everywhere. I just went, what the use? What? This is like 17 years ago, right? Pretty much. All of a sudden, there's a spirit here standing beside it, like pretty much did the mirror on the truck. And he's the one who was trying to do movements and trying to get me attention there. There was heaps outside. Lots of spirits outside. They were everywhere. And like, I wasn't getting out of the truck. I was too scared. And I've been a person that, well, I've always said you can never stop learning. You can always learn something. And so here I am trying to feel the spirit. I can see it clear as anything, but I'm trying to feel it, but I couldn't feel it. So he jumps in the truck on the passenger side. He gives his hand, puts it in his mouth. I went, you want me to do that? He goes, all right. So I got my hand and put it in his mouth like that. It was winter time. And that's warm. Yeah, that was the first time I felt it. Yeah, the spirit. I felt the warmth on my fingers. And I've done that to probably a half dozen people. I said, here, pass your hands. They lay down beside me in the dark and they pass your hand in. This spirit's name's William. It turns out he's my true soul brother. And he's been my guide ever since I was born. Right? The funny thing about that night, though, it was about 2 hours there spending just trying to communicate, trying to feel something. I'm not getting out of my truck. I was too scared to get out of my truck. But after 2 hours, never got to sleep. I started the truck up, built the air back up so I can drive off. And I looked at the window and this big green pillar of light was coming down out in the water. Like, I just hung down like that, and I put my head out the door like that, and I looked up as far as you look up in the sky. I see this very flow of energy like going straight up, like that. And as I'm looking up, this right spirit was in the side of it. It comes down like that, comes down, and then it comes out of the pillar across the top of the water. It was so bright, it was silver around the outside. And I'm thinking, what the hell? I'm shit myself because it was coming straight towards me. But by the time I got to the sand, it was like something hit me and just made me felt relaxed and comfort. All right, well, it's okay, Johnny, it's okay. And I come through the sand straight through the mirror into my body, and I looked to see if it kept going. It didn't keep going. Yeah, but the body just felt like lifting up off the seat. It was just so awesome feeling. It was great feeling. And I never told anyone about that story as I didn't know what the hell was happening. But when I was in Canada, I got become friends with this lady who's 64, had a crystal shop in Campbell, Canada. And she's been spirit sisters for, she said. And we exchanged so many stories around the shop, sitting there for 2 hours and I just talked to her. And she was the one that pointed at me and said that when I told that story, she goes, that's where your white light comes from. It still took me a while after that to accept and understand, oh, this is white light, really. White light meditation is what the world just called it. It's like the white light energy that probably made that help people. And that's when I started to roll my eyes. I'm saying that light. After we're sitting here in the dark, there's a light line. And I roll that up. And once I clean anything negative in anybody in the area or in the sky or anything like that, the light shines. And that's when your airy guys start celebrating. He's done it. He's done it. Yeah. It took me a long time to recognize that was actually coming inside me.
Mm.
I'm glad, yeah. So it's a bit of experience that night was, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I really think that for a reason you were given this gift and the white light to heal. And because I've been with you before, you've come and done some work on my father, and being in your presence, I feel very at peace. And I noticed it's almost like you have this very different energy, and it's like this unconditional love. And I feel there is absolute no judgment with you. You're at a point where I don't feel any judgment. There's just this beautiful compassion and love for all beings from you. That's the energy that I get. Do you think that's why you were given this gift, or do you think it was part of your soul's purpose? What do you think it is? Why you can do this?
I believe 100% is part of my soul's purpose.
Mm.
18 months after that night that would happen when the white light came down, I was at this rest area. And William was on the tires of the trailer. And there was another spirit there jumping around in the back of the log truck. And I said to William, I went, is he always like that? Because I couldn't hear him at the time. And he just goes, like that. I went, okay, he's like, don't worry about him. He's always like that. He always shakes his head. He does like that when back in the day when I couldn't hear him. But today, well, I can hear him now. And they say happy birthday means yes. But back then, he was, yeah, shake his head. Anyway, and then all of a sudden, it just hit me. I just pointed at William. I went, was you the guy who was in my bedroom when I was 5? Because I remember the house where I lived when I was 5 years old. I go to bed and there's a spirit standing in the corner. It had the whole fling neck shirt on. It was old. And so my brother had a single bed beside me. He's 4 years old, and he never saw him. That's in plenty of times, he never saw him. And I used to get in trouble off the parents before I go to bed. Don't just think I had enough light, because they'll come in and switch the light on and say, it's not really, you're dreaming. So I used to go to bed, sitting there, staring, and then I pulled the door over my head, go to sleep when I was tired. It just come to me this night, and I went, but you the guy was in that spirit was in that bedroom and I was tired. Then I went, how long have you been there for? He just dropped his hands like a baby, dropping the baby. So he's been there since I was a baby. All right.
Mm.
And even today, I still get this whistle sound, but back when I was a child, I used to get this whistle sound in my head. And this one day I said to him, Mum, that whistle's back. And she puts her hand up beside mine and says, I can't hear it. I said, it's still there. So she takes me to the doctor. The doctor goes, I can't find nothing wrong with it. So anyway, that night after he went, he's been there since he was a baby. He points at that other spirit who's jumping around about the truck. Once he jumps down the ground, points to the ground. This spirit comes down to the window. And in the dark, because the darker it was, the better I could see it. This spirit spins around like the old Roadrunner cartoon show used to do before they take off. You know, the TV used to see the energy they take off. All I could see in the dark was energy spinning. But the whistle of mine, I went, that's the whistle always here. And I'm there. So much faith and trust come into me to trust Liam and his other guy. So it was what we're in. They've been
Mm.
this was a baby.
Yeah. Wow. And
So
how old were you when you had that experience where the white energy came into you and then you started healing people?
I would have been about 38, probably.
38. How old are you now?
Yeah. I was 26 and a half. No, I'm 54 now. I was born in 1970. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't look the ages either. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were 38, but your whole life until that point, were you ever practicing anything like spiritual meditation, or were you open to any of that? Or did this just all start coming to you and happening to you around that age, and then you had these gifts?
More or less all started coming to me at that age. But I remember years ago, in my first marriage, I had 3 boys, was heading to the snow one year. And it was just silence for a long time. I don't know what's going through my mind. And I believe I used to think a lot on my soul's mind, but I didn't know so much about that then. Right? As I just looked at me ex and I went, I think I'm spiritual. Out of the blue. It's like that. She goes, oh, okay, like that. And I know in some way they help me. Though some things happen. And a couple of times when I was driving the car, I knew I shouldn't have stayed that far. I was very tense. But whatever happened that night, it's just like, wow, how am I getting away? It's like someone else took control of that. And I know that's what happens to a lot of people. Wow, someone saved me. I never look God. We all have a ride, and then you're just like near miss something like that. I know someone else saved me there. Yeah. I didn't think of it at the time, but now when I look back at it, I know they saved me. It was even my son used to race motocross, all right? And for 10 years we spent on the road racing motocross. Was in Sydney racing out there, uh, up in Sydney now, with southwestern Sydney. I didn't realise it didn't finish till 11 o'clock at night. And we was going to a race meeting up in Narelle, out west, New South Wales. And when we put it on the GPS at night time to go, it was 7 o'clock, it was like 7 hour drive. So it was only giving me 1 hour of sleep. Shit, how am I going to do this? I'm thinking it's only a 3 or 4 hour drive, but I didn't realise it was 7 hour drive. So all night, I'd be tying the van, the bikes at the back. I'm heading out in this western roads out there, no one else on the road. I've already pulled up 10 times, those Bosbury Place, Marine. You go 10 minutes up the road, I'm a bit tired, man, get tired. Oh, I knew me anything hard. I'm going to have to pull up and sleep or I'm going to crash. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting on 120 Ks in the middle of the road just trying to get there. And all of a sudden, this old man on a push bike, like this old push bike was in the middle of the road like this. I mean, what the hell? I stayed the brakes on. My uncle and his girlfriend rolled on the back floor of the car. And as I got to this bush bike, looking, stop, as it hit the right beside headlight, it just disappeared like dust. Oh, well, what the hell? Well, then I still pulled the car up, like the car and look up the road. Well, nothing there, nothing there. What the hell just happened like this? And I don't know that was when. Because the driver left, kept my bike for the next 3 hours to the back. And I got tired. I've asked friends, since was that him that made me happy about that. I was in Corona. That's how I began to learn meditating spirits. Yeah. It just taught me how to work. Right. And then I was a healer. One night, William wondered me like this about, you got to cure cancer. I'm going, I mean, cure cancer. You got to cure cancer. Like that. I mean, cure cancer. You cure cancer. I'm going, how? And he get his hand, he put in his hand like that. No man cure cancer with the hand. But when I uttered 7 times the high voice, bro, you were a cure cancer. Just go through me. Oh, okay, like that. Yeah, and yeah, many people have cancer. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Can you explain with cancer, when you work on people, what do you think the main cause of it is? And what is it actually in the body?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah. Because I see the main cause is an entity, in the body. Because once I done a healing on a lady who had stage 4 cancer up the Sunshine Coast in Australia. And when I got to her, the doctors had given her 12 days. And my guys said, I'm coming to heal them. So when I told her that, she said, no, you're coming to help me go half peacefully. Well, my guys saying different to that. But throughout that first healing, my guys kept saying to me, Tony, you're going to give her 40 years. I go, no, I'm like, arguing in my mind, my guides, I'm not telling that at all. But when it comes down, when I argue with my guides, 6 or 7 times, I hear this high echo voice just echoes from me down below. It's like your father yelling out there in the 5 years old. Oh, okay. And it goes, tell her you'll give it 40 years. I go, okay. So after the healing, after everything's in the room, after the healing, I said, I know the doctor's already given you 12 days, but my guys are telling me to tell you we're going to give it 40 years. And I done 7 healings on her over probably 2 or 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks or so. And on the last healing, I asked her, she kept saying she's getting sharp pains down around the bottom of the belly here. And I just kept going really back. Well, it was twisted pain that doctors had no idea what it was. The family thought she was actually going crazy because she was dying. And anyway, when she was telling me the story, I went, stop, I know what it is. So we went into the healing. Throughout the healing, she had a spiritual snake in her. And I know I've worked in the timber industry in the bush all my life. I always feared snakes. And they pushed me with spiritual snakes now. I love the spiritual snakes. They're very powerful protection and very powerful healing. Helping people. And once we got this spiritual snake out, we guys took it out the window, took it to the white light. The biggest celebration I ever got was like, you don't, Johnny, don't need to put your hand on an animal, they said. Well, okay. And she was pretty sad. I wasn't coming back. And I was pretty struck the way they celebrated. And yeah, it wasn't until 2 months later I was back in Canada and the husband put on a place called His Home's Clear as a Whistle.
Wow.
So that's an entity. I saw an entity that kept bringing her down. Even though she was trying to heal herself with sound bowls, she used to say she just felt like she was getting on top of the walls trying to get football brown. But it was the snake that kept making her ill. And it's funny how I saw that because everything's empty. So normally, if I've done a healing on someone, and I'll go into their soul. If it's pure cancer there, I'll see white. It's like white energy, pale, and it's the size of the cancer in the body. Right? And what I've seen energy come in. I've seen like a big serpent snake, like an elephant come in, and I'll see his mouth and the energy just goes chopping like that at the cancer. Well, I didn't understand it at first. Was alcohol actually taking something soul out of people, but now I realise about the energy and the soul. I work on the soul level. It's actually taking the cancer from the soul. The soul has a wound there. And so they come out and crush that cancer down and take it out. And then I see it sometimes come back again for another guy, 2 or 3 hits. And I go, you're going to Johnny. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 healings to depends how much cancer's in them. When they say you're not a Johnny, it's my job. This is what the guys say to do. So I have a fond of it, but to get to them. Yeah.
With the snakes, you mentioned there was like a spiritual snake entity. So some snakes can heal and some snakes can harm.
It's the same as the human spirit. Some are negative, some are positive. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every living thing is a soul. Yeah. So snakes, horses, cows, whatever, dogs. So yeah, it's the spiritual snake. Some people sit beside me in the dark because I can see me better in the dark. I put the snake over my hand, the spiritual snake, and put it over their hand, and they feel like, oh, there's something there. Felt that, done that with them there.
That's cool. Yeah.
And it's funny because there's bioweapon out there that I believe they put in and attacks the burning souls.
Mm. I wanted to ask you because we were talking about how when we reincarnate and come back into this life, we carry wounds in our soul that were not healed in the past life. When babies are born and they're injected with vaccines, is this a sort of agenda to impact or affect the wounds of the soul for those babies, do you think?
Yes, I believe a lot of vaccinations will harm you in where you have a burning soul.
Yeah.
It's like your body can't fight it off when it has a worm there.
It's weak. It's weak in that area.
Yeah, and I see the soul is your healer. We are all healers. The
Mm.
soul is a healer. It heals yourself. So once the person gets the soul healed, my client's soul, and they just stay positive, don't open doors up and all that, their soul goes to work and heals their body. It's the
Mm.
soul. Your own soul is the healer. And when you look back to the past lives and the war days, people died all different ways and very harsh as well. You know? Yeah. And
Yes. And do you think the vaccines that they pushed in the last few years, COVID, there was a sinister intention behind that? Because I know you've worked with people who were vaccinated and you've picked up on the same sort of uh, poison in them.
yes, definitely. I feel every time someone's got a vaccination from the COVID vaccinations or anyone that's been through radiation treatment or chemo treatment, I get a weird taste on my tongue. And it
Mm.
stays there till I clear it from the body. Whenever I get that taste on my tongue, I know something toxic has been put through their body. And I don't give up until that toxic taste that I have on my tongue is gone. So it's like the energy takes it out of on the forms. The ones who's had the vaccinations, I guarantee you, they've got all the same symptoms. It's like a list. But those have got anywhere from 10 to 15 different problems. Yeah. Problems, headaches, dizziness, all this sort of stuff. And they all had the vaccinations.
Mm.
Most of them even told me now, I don't know why I've run it. Don't know why I've run it. Yeah. Had to get it for my job and that, and that's, I understand that. But yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I remember you telling me you were in Canada at the time and your guides kept saying, no, 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 every time you asked them.
I had to come back to Canada for my visa. So I asked my guides. I said, should I get the jab to fly back to Australia? Like, no, 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 straight up. So, okay, well, then about, well, no, 8 months later, I should have been out of Canada, but we didn't. We were stuck with Canada. And then 8 months later, I asked again, no, no, no. I remember the third time, probably 8 months later, that was, I was stuck in Canada for 4 years. And when I asked the third time, they went, no, no, no. I just said, why not? I said, you wait for 2 years, Johnny, you'll see what happens. And that's a lot of stuff has happened since then. Yeah. That's all
Yeah.
right. Just wait for 2 years, Johnny, and you'll see what happens. Yeah.
Wow.
I knew not to get it.
Yeah.
And then when I finally come back, we went to come back to Australia, then you had to be jabbed to leave Canada. So I meditated on the authorities to lift the jab. And 2 weeks later, they lifted it. I would take that a lot. They did that, right? And then you realised they couldn't land in Australia unless you was dead. So I meditated again on the authorities in Australia to lift it to land in. For 2 weeks later, it was all lifted, so we got the tickets and fled back to Australia. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But
So when we come into this life, we have wounds in the soul from past lives, whether in our past life, say we were shot in the head or we were stabbed in the stomach, depending on the area, there'll be a wound in that soul aspect of the person. And if they don't heal it in this lifetime, eventually it'll manifest as a disease or an accident happens or something will happen physically to reflect the hole in the soul or the unhealed part of the soul. Yeah.
that's right. And that's like a lot of people who has wounds from a past life. If you come into this life with a wound in your heart or your stomach or your head, the soul can't keep that part of your body healthy. It's a wound. Right? And therefore, eventually that part of your body is going to become ill.
Mm.
Or something's going to be wrong with that part. Or you have an accident and end up hurting that part in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like, there's a lady in Sydney, I don't know how you know, 8 months ago, and right between her shoulder blades and the spine, she had pain there. She was 36 when it happened. This pain just started coming from nowhere. She went got x-rays, MRI scans, the doctor said, can't find nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
Doctor finally says, oh, we'll do an operation on you, see what we can find. And at that point in time, she just found me. So I go along on the first session. Eventually told me, yeah, and I said, well, they operated. And then I was wrong. That's what I thought. So anyways, had me hand on the forehead, and I went through the sessions of guys, got me to turn her over. I said, turn her over, like on the belly. And when I put my head in on her back spine where the pain was, for 4 months this pain was there. And I could see the wound. When I closed my eyes and rolled them up, I see the old soul. And then there was a hole like around my thumb there. I had
Mm.
no idea what happened. My job is to pull out any negative energies in there and shine the light up. When I roll my eyes up higher, shines the light up in my head. That's the healing. Remember, I was saying, you done it, you done it. That's right here. Yeah, and then that's when I healed the soul. Before I took my hand off her back, they showed me a vision of a woman running in front of me and running away like that with his old wearing that dress on like an old lady's dresses. Then an arm comes down and goes, boom, shoot. Oh, okay. So when I finished, I told her what the vision I got. She said, oh, I believe that because a psychic had told me once I've been shot in the past life.
Wow.
But yeah, well, that's what they showed me, been shot in the past life. But ever since I took my hand off her back, pain was gone. And still today, it means never come back.
Wow.
So it's very interesting. Everyone's different on how it works. Yeah.
Mm. Also, is it important to note that because you heal the soul, people still have a role to play in their own healing, and they can't just expect you to come along and heal everything and they're going to go through life fine. They have to be very cautious of their own self and their own thoughts and behaviors.
Yes, remember working with God's energy, God's allowing nothing negative to come in. So if you have a negative mindset every day and you feel like you want to harm somebody or you just have negative thoughts of someone who's done something to you in the past, because that's the past, we can't change the past. So we need to learn to let it go because that mindset's allow to opening up doors that we shut. You know, just say for example, you had a wounded heart, we come to this life. And we hear the soul, the wounded heart, right? And then you're a negative person, you go out, you just want to have a laugh, remember everybody who say something wrong to you or something. It's very sensitive energy. And when you start arguing or something like that, or something happens in this life that triggers that wounded heart from a past life, whatever it was, it can reopen the door again.
Mm.
A lot plays on the person and how you are. You know, if you're a totally negative person every day, of course you're not going to heal because you're going to be opening the wounds up all the time. So that's where we learn to shut the doors and try and put the past behind us. But when you start thinking about something that's happened in the past and brings that negative mindset back, just say that God take care of it, find something positive, and that helps you move forward and forget about the past. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel it's important to share that, Johnny, because you can't just rely on people like yourself to come and heal you, and then you can go and still behave in ways that, are negative and get away with it, because it doesn't work like that. And yeah, we have to stay positive. We have to work on our traumas, our wounding, and that will keep those portals or those doors closed to negative entities or energies coming through and impacting our soul.
Know myself. It's been a long time since I had a negative mindset. This one day, coming home from Melbourne, landing in the southeast side, coming home, there must have been a traffic block and that, and the road was backed up. So the GPS takes me off on this side street. And I'm going up this side street, and those two cars in front of me was stopped and letting people in with stop signs in their traffic. And I was like, what's going on here? And the car moves on, the car in front of me starts at all these cars in stop signs. And I just slammed every horn. There's stop signs here, just that negative thought, just outburst of like a negative thing. It's something I shouldn't, I know I shouldn't have been. But by the time I got on that main road, I could feel the negative energy coming in the way, just dripping over my stomach. It was dripping over, and as soon as I got home, it was 40 minutes later, it was burning some sensation right around here. I could feel it. So I lay down, do a big meditation, feed myself. It took me almost an hour to do it. I haven't done it again since, people don't realize because I'm so sensitive to energy now, I feel everything that comes in. Like every healing I do, I feel where they're working on the person. Whether it's in the head, your heart, the stomach, your legs, your knees, they put pressure on me. So I'm really sensitive to energy. Well, when something like that happens, I get attacked. So if I can get attacked, anyone's getting attacked.
Mm.
feel it. So that energy, negative energy is building up, building up. All of a sudden, like a married man's already had kids that could be 10 years old, and all of a sudden his wife is getting angry, angrier. Or the wife's getting angrier and angrier because the negative energy is building up, getting stronger and stronger. And the negative stuff taking over your life. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What was the crime work that you were doing? What was that? What did that involve?
Like I tell you about William Tyrell.
Yeah, tell us about your experience with William Tyrell and how you actually saw him.
Up to then I start.
Yeah, I'd love to hear. I'm sure everyone else would love to hear it. Tell us about it.
Right. Yeah. Well, the story about William Tyrell, he went missing. Listen now, where I had 3 boys to my first wife. When the first 2 were born, my biggest fear was having a car accident because I had a cousin who was, when I was about 11 or 10 or 11, he got his license. He had 2 crashes in 2 weeks. There were 2 young girls in the first one, and another young lady died in the second one, a couple of days later in hospital. So that fed me because my boys went in a car crash. When I got my license, I made sure I drove safe like that because that was always some sort of fear I had to be had. And when my boys were born, that was one of my fears, having a car crash, you know. And the second thing was a pedophile taking my children. I was always scared about a pedophile taking my children. But when Terror went missing, I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to see what happened to him. I thought he was dead. And so did everyone else in Australia at the time. But I'd done so much work. I even parked in the street he went missing half a dozen times at night time to show what happened. So I'm going to tell you the whole story here. Just where the house he went missing from, down 2 doors down, I parked. And I'll flicker my eyes on that. It was like an old projector. And this little boy was running down beside my car like this. And then I heard it went past my car, like it was running towards the end of the street. I heard this big dog bark from this area. When I had my eyes up later and checked this place out, it was the gates were open, but it was like a 2.5 acre block, but it had dog pens right around. So there was a big dog in this yard at the time. When that big dog popped up, he stopped in his tracks and he turned around and started coming back this way. But a woman coming out from this house here was standing on the ground in the front yard. And she said something to me, he went straight to her. And she took his hand and walked through her house. And the woman had black slacks on and a long white nice shirt on that was like she worked in a bank or some sort of a job like that. And dark black hair she had. It just picture of anything it was. She walked into this house. And then after that, I've done so many different areas where they show me what happened to many children, how they died, what they did to the bodies and things like that. Right? So I thought William Tyrell was dead. It wasn't until I had a brain tumor in the center of a man's brain about 3.5 years later, up at the Sunshine Coast. And when I'd done that and healed it, I packed up, I went to Bombay, and it was in the Gold Coast with my partner. I said, I like to go for meditation up the mountains. And this day I went up there and meditate. And at the end of a 20-minute meditation, I was like, William Tyrell's still alive. I went, no, he's not, he's dead. So I started laughing in a high voice. I'm there, William Tyrell's still alive. He's 5 Ks in a straight line for you. Well, oh, okay. No, I with that voice. That's like, okay. So over the next 2 weeks, it was 2 weeks I did a drive. It was a Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Redford drive up to the top of those mountains, up Tenmaree Mountain Way. And in that 2 weeks, I got woken up twice at 3 a.m. in the morning. And it was like I was up here and I was coming down. I kept trying to show me something. I kept saying, Alex, it's not like a town. It's too small for a little village or something. But there's no shops or nothing there. I couldn't believe it was. And I got twice. I had exactly the same vision. And when we went for a drive, we get up the top of the mountain and we was going to go this way. The guy said, no, Johnny, this way. So I said, Alex, we'll come back a little way later. We'll go down this way. Went over a couple of hills. When I said to your right, we didn't even know it was a drive by there. We went down, went over a couple of hills, and opened up to this big one in church. All right. Well, like a brother's community church was. And so here we are. And all of a sudden, it just hit me. I said, Alex, the goosebumps just went straight through me. I said, this is the goosebumps trainer. There's a little red group here. This is it. This is it. I'm going, that's what those told me at twice. So something inside it was happening. And then we go for a walk. They have all these statues and all that there. And there was a church on. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll never forget that. And I said, Alex, can we go and see the church? She says, you won't hear anyone. I said, I've forgotten to tell you, I'm not there. So anyway, she goes, you won't hear them. And because her mum died when she was 14, her father used to try and drag her to church all the time, so she didn't want to go to church. So anyway, but we went and sat down. There was only a half dozen people this side, so we sat down in the second row. As soon as we sat down, Alex says, elbowed me on it. What? She goes, is that him? I went, who? She goes, William Tyrell. Up on the stage there, there was 2 men standing there. And there was a piano. And I went like that and leaned over in front of Alex. And I could see this chair and this kid sitting on this chair. So I sat up and I asked over 30 times, was that William Tyrell? The high voice every single time. That is William Tyrell. That is William Tyrell. And he even said 3 times, that is Paul Brickford. He's one of the suspects, Paul is William Tyrell.
Nice.
I just didn't take much notice when he said it because I knew what Paul Brickford looked like, had pictures and that, but wasn't there. But we took photos, videos, everything with it. But what happened then, we went out in the car, we waited for the child to come out. He came out and the people were sitting on this side. I 100% believed it was the foster grandmother with 2 other children as well. That poor little boy's face up on that old stage was terrifying. You can see it in the pictures. He wasn't even allowed to turn his head to look at us. He just turned his eyes. It was terrifying. We got photos of him and everything. We got in the car, we left. So Alex was on the phone, Stubb was on the phone the whole time. We followed this car all the way from up there, all the way down to Southport. And twice I said, there's a police on that road, they'll pull us up when we get been up with twos. That never happened. So when we get down towards Southport, this car swings into this driveway and I'm side of the road. Oh shit. So I went down, pulled into this police service station, about 5 houses down. So I parked the car, faced the top of it, watched this car, make sure it didn't take off. I think it's still paying the crime stoppers. And I got out, got up to the other side of the survey, and this car just backs out the road, takes off. And there was traffic everywhere. So I run back to the farm, get in the farm, and I said, Alex, we've lost them. We've lost them, what left. And when we got onto the road, the guys just went, don't worry, Johnny, we'll show you where they are. So it was 23 minutes. They went left, right, all the way back down the rural area. I'm coming down this hill. And I went to your left, Johnny, down the bottom of the hill, was driveway. And when I turned up, and there's a Calgary there, and then right, Calgary here, in front straight ahead, and this thing I came on my left, straight driveways. Well, which way? To your left, Johnny. So up over the left. I went over one hill, little dirt track on that. And as I come up to the next hill, there's a big tree standing there, and I stopped, and here's the car parked from the house. It took me 23 minutes to the house where that car was parked. It was the same time.
What?
And that's when the boy was just doing my job, was trying to get justice for that little boy. That's all I wanted, you know? And to find out he was still alive, and to find them, get the pictures and photos and all that. We took them back, put them on our computer screen, opened up. When I was doing the thing, I said, Alex didn't know. I said, God said 3 times. That's Paul Brickford. I said, but it doesn't look like it. And Alex looked at the pictures and said, oh, that's a wig. I went, oh, yeah, it can't be a wig. He's politicized. But he had changed his identity. He had put on weight. So it was very hard. But what gave it away, he had the same glasses as this fellow had. Same silver glasses ring. And then he had this little square inserted scar on his forehead. And this Paul Brickford had the same scar as this one. That's what gave it away from there. That's what I believe. So I've always said it to me 3 times. That's Paul Brickford. Yeah. Anyway, we took him to the Bowen police station, and there was a detective there from Great Heads. We walked in. She took us into the room, said, what can I do for you tonight? And Alex is putting the first photo there and the second photo. Before she got the third photo, she looks at it and she goes, oh my fucking God, that's where I think it is it? I'm like, yes, it is. She knew just by the first 2 photos who it was. She knew. So He had his father's forehead, he had his mother and his grandmother's jawline. He had this little liberal in his ear. And it was him. Just like 3.5 years later, 4 years up, almost 4 years up, he went missing when he was 3. And so I thought I was doing a big job. Because we had plane flight booked to go to Canada. Because we found on trying to get this, like what they're thinking that this up class police force, they're gone. They've got this child back. That's what I'm thinking. And Alex trying to ring the detective to try and see what's happening before we left. She said we handed all the photos over to Task Force Crossing. Throughout that 3.5 years, I ran crime stoppers probably half a dozen times. I'll have records there. And Putnam Crow Police Station, I ran a couple of times. As I'll have records. All I wanted was that head detective to have a coffee with me. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to have a coffee with him. So I haven't put him in the right track. It never happened. Never happened. But when I was in Canada, 7 days when we landed those photos in, that head detective stood himself down. Apparently over a tape phone call. That he wasn't supposed to tape.
So he stepped down because of a recording.
That Task Force. Well, I don't know if it's true yet. I haven't looked into it, but I've been told 3 times now, one just recently, last week, that he's been kicked out of the police force. And that other suspect, which is Bill Spavage and so on, apparently he got $1 million. Yeah, for them using him or something like that.
Mm. So they never actually chased it up and took this boy back.
Well, I had detective rather knew where he was and got paid well for his father, pedophile. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a really big, large, organized pedophile ring in Australia, from
Yeah.
my understanding.
And the truth needs to come out about William Tyrell because he was still alive in January 2019.
Mm.
And proof, we still have the photos alive.
Wow. What do you think they're doing with him?
What do I think they're doing with him?
Mm.
Well, honestly, I think it's the only way for them to keep the organisation going. And what I was saying throughout the process was what happened to other kids who don't do as they're told, do what they want them to do. You know, but William Tyrell must accept the punishment, accept it, and that's why he's still alive. Yeah, because when these people die, who takes over? This boy, poor boy, who's probably right 11 or 12 down, he would know no difference in life. He would know no difference. So that's what that's, yeah. And it's been happening for many years.
Yeah.
And what should we do about it? Maybe nothing. Well, I believe God's on the control now, and God's doing all it can. Stop. It was very hard. It would be hard. It went terrible, yeah. What? I kept saying, does everyone take care of it? Does everyone take care of it? And it took me a lot to accept that. Like it even took one night when I was meditating on the full moon night. After 2 hours of meditation, I've been opening the eyes, Johnny. I don't care who was sitting beside me. If anyone was sitting beside me, they would have saw what I saw. And it was just above the water. It was green, white, blue, and gold flipping energy like this, up to this huge shape of this man. And he had his hand out like this. And the moon was sitting in his hand. So it was a beautiful thing to see. All right. It was so powerful. And they've always said the moon is 1.5 times the size of the Earth all this time. So it goes to show the size of this sparrow. If he's got the moon in his hand. I just went, who the hell is that? I went, that's God, Johnny. And that's how I say God. Now, when we put this energy inside the hill, you know, and if something negative comes up, just take care of. Yeah.
I love that. And that reminds me of what you said when you had that message before you worked with my dad, that where God is, there is no darkness, there is no negativity.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I actually said to your dad, there's no evil at this level. And I've got calm this up, that. I felt like his soul trusted my soul for some reason. Yeah. Yeah. I know us as humans can't see his soul. Well, I went to 2 funerals last year, 2 people I knew. The first one I went to, the soul was sitting in front of the funeral box. He didn't want to pass over. Well, as soon as he went, who's Johnny? I heard him say, my guys just laugh. So I know the souls are seeing, right? Well, they're seeing my soul somehow. Yeah. But we don't see it as a human. But yeah, I'm getting to that point now where you relax your mind to have a sleep energy in your souls, I'd say. Yeah.
Mm.
through the healing sessions.
Yeah. I believe that because sometimes when I look at you or say we've been inside with my dad and then we walked outside, I look at you and I'm like, he looks different. He doesn't look the same. And I feel like I'm seeing aspects of your soul coming through. And I don't think it's my eyes. I just think it's that I'm seeing that
So
little soul. Yeah. Which is
the
pretty cool.
more you relax when you start saying that, the more you could train your mind and your eyes to be able to see it.
Mm.
And what really is in 2 years, you're going to be having a bold delivery. So it's a slow process.
Mm.
So once when I've done a healing with a guy, and seen him for 10 years,
Mm.
barely speak on the phone when I was there.
Well,
Stop and say a couple of words, stopping again. And I just
mm.
started healing on him. The guides had told me at that time, because he's had it for 10 years, it's going to take a while.
Mm. Yeah.
And when I came back, I went to Canada for 4 years, and that was just before I went to Canada. I done the healing, and I went to Canada 4 years. I come back, I was back in Australia for about 12 months, and I got talking to his son. I said, "Oh, how's Dad?" He said, "Oh, yeah, he's doing okay." He went for a charity walk the other day, and he goes motorbike riding every couple of weekends with his mates and that. And oh, well, really? That's strange. So I went back and saw him at his house where he was. And he made us a coffee, it's a coffee, and he sat there for 2 hours, never talked once. He's a changed brand. It was about 5.5, maybe 6 years since I done the healing on him. I actually done 2 healings on him, and that's like, it's working. So
Yeah.
like that, and that's what a lot of people must understand. Like the energy we were with was it's God's energy, and when we put that energy, same as a dad, when we put that energy in, just it keeps working. It's working, you know.
Mhm.
And as I said, like I had to retrieve your dad's soul.
Mm.
His full soul, well, I had to retrieve. I'm retrieving bits and pieces of people's souls and brought them back where something's happened to them in the past life. But the dad's, it was like clinging to that tree. And I brought him back and brought him in. We brought his soul back.
Mm.
And once we get that soul back, the soul starts healing the body, and doesn't happen overnight when that happens. It just happens
Yeah.
gradually.
And so, Johnny, you travel around the whole of Australia to see people and heal them, and you also do long distance ones as well from wherever you are.
Yeah, I drove from Melbourne to Sydney last week. Yeah. And now I'm going to Sydney again this next month, February, and I'll just fly to Brisbane now. I'll just fly.
Well, thanks so much for your time today, Johnny. I'm going to put links to your website and your social media on this video so people can reach out to you if they want to.
I'm here to help anyone and everyone.